Hello, champions. Think about our world for a second. From the light bulb over your head to the phone in your hand, it was all built on a handful of revolutionary ideas. Today, we're counting down the 10 groundbreaking inventions that didn't just alter the course of history, they literally created the world we live in. Section 10. The wheel. Kicking off our list at number 10 is an invention so fundamental, it's become a metaphor for innovation itself. The wheel. Now, the first wheels weren't for transport, they were potter's wheels, invented in Mesopotamia around 3500 BCE to help craft pottery. It was the later idea of pairing a wheel with an axle for vehicles that truly changed the game. Before this, heavy loads had to be dragged. Imagine trying to build a city that way. The wheel and axle, first depicted on a pot in Poland around 3370 BCE, slashed the friction of transport. This enabled carts and wagons, supercharging trade and connecting distant communities. This wasn't just about moving goods, it was about moving ideas and cultures. The wheel's principle also gave us gears and flywheels, the hearts of early machines that set the stage for the mechanical age. The wheel didn't just get us moving, it put civilization on the fast track. And if you thought rolling forward was impressive, our next invention helped humans sail into the unknown. Section 9. The magnetic compass. At number 9, we have the device that unlocked the oceans and turned our map into a globe, the magnetic compass. For most of history, long-distance sea travel was a gamble. Sailors depended on the sun and stars, so a cloudy sky could mean getting hopelessly lost. The magnetic compass changed everything. It first appeared in China, not for navigation, but for divination and feng shui as early as the 2nd century BCE. By the Song dynasty, around the 11th to 12th centuries, Chinese sailors were using it to navigate the open seas. This simple device, a magnetized needle that aligns with the Earth's magnetic field, offered a reliable sense of direction in any weather. This confidence was the key that unlocked the age of exploration, connecting continents and creating the first truly global trade networks. The compass didn't just point north, it pointed humanity towards a connected future. But finding new lands was only half the story. Our next invention helped share the knowledge of those discoveries with the world. Section 8. The printing press. Our number 8 invention created the world's first information superhighway, the printing press with movable type. Before Johannes Gutenberg's press came along in Europe around 1440, books were precious, hand-copied luxuries. This kept knowledge and power in the hands of a select few. Now, Gutenberg didn't invent movable type itself. Metal movable type had been developed in Korea over a century earlier. His genius was in creating a highly efficient system that combined movable metal type, new oil-based inks, and a press. This system could mass-produce books, like his famous Gutenberg Bible, at a speed that was previously unthinkable. Suddenly, books became affordable, literacy rates soared, and new ideas, from scientific discoveries to the theses of the Reformation, spread like wildfire. The printing press didn't just print books, it democratized knowledge and helped build the modern world. But printing ideas wasn't enough. Our next invention powered the machines to make those ideas a reality. Section 7. The steam engine. Crashing onto our list at number 7 is the engine that powered the modern age. While the idea of steam power had been around, the Industrial Revolution truly kicked into high gear thanks to James Watt. Earlier engines, like the Newcomen engine from 1712, were already at work pumping water out of mines. But it was Watt's crucial improvement in the 1770s, the separate condenser, that made the steam engine dramatically more efficient and versatile. This breakthrough meant factories were no longer chained to rivers for power. They could be built anywhere. This sparked the explosive growth of industrial cities. The steam engine drove the machines that mass-produced goods, and it was adapted to power locomotives and steamboats. This revolution in transportation shrank the world, moving materials and products across vast distances with incredible speed. The steam engine wasn't just a machine, it was the relentless beating heart of a new industrial world. But while machines reshaped industry, the next breakthrough reshaped human survival itself. Section 6. Penicillin. At number 6 is an invention that completely changed our fight against disease: penicillin. For nearly all of human history, a simple bacterial infection could be a death sentence. Diseases we now consider treatable were once major killers. That all changed in 1928, when Alexander Fleming accidentally discovered that a mold, Penicillium, could kill bacteria. While it wasn't the world's very first antibiotic, early antibacterial chemotherapies like Salvarsan for syphilis had been developed in 1910. Penicillin was the first to be derived from a natural mold, and it was powerfully effective. After scientists figured out how to purify and mass-produce it, penicillin became a miracle drug. It made surgeries much safer, saved countless lives in World War II, and was a major factor in increasing human life expectancy. Penicillin was the discovery that launched the modern antibiotic era, saving millions of lives. And as life expectancy grew, humanity's inventions began to illuminate and connect the planet like never before. We're halfway through our list, and these ideas have taken us from the ancient world to the industrial age. But some of the biggest changes were still to come. If you're enjoying this journey through innovation, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you won't miss what's next. Section 5. The electric age, coming in at number 5, isn't one invention, but a trio that harnessed electricity to conquer distance and darkness: the telegraph, the telephone, and the light bulb. First, the telegraph, perfected in the 1840s, allowed information to travel faster than any horse, sending messages across continents in minutes. Then, in 1876, Alexander Graham Bell's telephone gave that electrical signal a human voice. Finally, the incandescent light bulb liberated us from our reliance on daylight. While Thomas Edison patented his famous, commercially successful bulb in 1879, it's important to note that others, like British inventor Joseph Swan, were developing similar technologies. Edison's key contribution was creating a practical, long-lasting bulb as part of a whole system of electrical generation and distribution. This system, built on the competing AC and DC currents, championed by Nikola Tesla and Edison respectively, form the electrical grid that powers almost every aspect of our lives today. This was the dawn of our modern, illuminated, and instantly connected reality. But electricity could only light up the ground. Our next invention took us into the skies. Section 4. The airplane, taking off at number 4, is the invention that conquered the skies: the airplane. For millennia, humans dreamed of flight. On a windy day in 1903 at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, the Wright brothers made it a reality. Their first flight lasted just 12 seconds and covered 120 feet, but it proved that powered, controlled flight was possible. The impact was immense. Within decades, airplanes collapsed global distances. Continents that were once weeks apart by sea could now be reached in hours, transforming business, tourism, and warfare. This new technology also enabled global supply chains and spurred major advances in engineering and materials science that proved beneficial for later aerospace developments, including rocketry and spaceflight. The airplane didn't just lift us into the air, it lifted us into a smaller, more interconnected world. Yet even flight couldn't match the invisible power of our next invention. Section 3. The transistor. At number 3 is a tiny device that is arguably the most important piece of technology of the last century. The transistor. Invented at Bell Labs in 1947, the transistor is a tiny semiconductor that acts as an electronic switch, replacing the bulky, fragile, and power-hungry vacuum tubes of early electronics. But the real revolution came with its miniaturization. This was made possible by the invention of the integrated circuit in the late 1950s by Jack Kilby and Robert Noyce. The integrated circuit allowed billions of transistors to be packed onto a single microchip. This is the fundamental building block of every modern electronic device, from your TV to your computer and smartphone. Without the humble transistor and the integrated circuit it enabled, the digital world as we know it simply wouldn't exist. It's the invisible foundation of modern life. And speaking of the internet, Section 2. The internet surfing into our number 2 spot is the invention that connected all of humanity, the internet. It started in the late 1960s as ARPANET, a U.S. Defense Department-funded project to create a decentralized computer network for research institutions. For decades, it was mostly used by academics and the military. The real turning point for the public came in 1989 when Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web. It's helpful to think of the internet as the network of roads and the web as the collection of addresses and houses you can visit. Berners-Lee created the browsers and servers that made the internet easily navigable for everyone. The impact was total. The internet has rewired everything: how we communicate, shop, learn, and entertain ourselves. It's more than a network of computers. It's a network of human minds. But our number 1 invention predates them all and made every other breakthrough possible. Section 1. The control of fire. And now, our number 1 groundbreaking invention. It isn't a machine. It's a force of nature our ancestors learned to tame: the control of fire. This is, without a doubt, the spark that ignited our entire evolutionary journey. While the exact timeline is debated, robust evidence from Wonderwork Cave in South Africa suggests early humans were using fire as far back as 1 million years ago. Before fire, early humans were at the mercy of darkness and cold. Fire provided warmth, allowing them to survive in new climates and expand across the globe. It offered protection from predators. Most importantly, it let us cook our food. Cooking makes food easier to digest, unlocking more nutrients. A leading scientific theory, known as the cooking hypothesis, suggests this extra energy fueled the dramatic growth of the human brain. The campfire became the heart of early society, a place for gathering, storytelling, and building culture. Every other invention on this list can be traced back to this first great act of mastery. Fire didn't just change our world, it made us human. So there you have it, 10 inventions that shaped our reality, each one built on the last, sparking a chain reaction of innovation that continues to this day. What do you think? Did we miss anything? Which invention do you think had the biggest impact? Let us know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this trip through history, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with anyone who loves to explore the big ideas that shaped our world. Thanks for watching.